How's it going, everybody? I am Donut. I'm coming in here before the actual beginning of the video just to say that I'm sorry about the construction noises in the background. We're having our kitchen renovated and it's making it very difficult to try and record, but also the times I do have to record, sometimes there's just audio in the background because I gotta record. So, sorry about that. How's it going, everybody? I am Donut. This is, of course, a Black Lives Matter, All Cops Are Bastards, and Trans Rights supporting channel. If you're not supporting that shit, get the fuck off this channel. This is Broad City Season 3, Episode 8, Burning Bridges. Either Burning Bridges or Burnt Bridges. Hold on, let me see what it was. It is Burning Bridges. So, I guess this will be, like, this is not the kind of show where we've made a lot of connections with other characters, so it can't be like my mind immediately goes to the It's Always Sunny Thanksgiving episode from pretty late into this show, like after double digits worth of seasons, I believe. So that is what immediately comes to mind with Burning Bridges, like in a sitcom of burning bridges with past characters we've seen. But that's, how are we going to do that, right? Like, I think it would have to be, for Broad City, like 2 characters. But like, who would what bridges would be burnt? I can't even guess, because there's not, like, who would they want to essentially, like, write out of, like, normal plots and everything. I don't know. No guesses, but that's somewhat of a guess. Let's jump into it. If you want to see the full length, check it out in the description, or below. Patreon, $4 a month, you know how it goes. Okay, so, as I said at the beginning of the video, because of the construction, I tried to put off this discussion. Then when I actually recorded this discussion, I did not notice until just now that it was muted. So I have to redo this discussion again. And this is going to be probably one of the shortest Broad City discussions because I am re-talking about things that I've already said, and it's, you know, Broad City discussions are already pretty short because there's not a whole lot for me to talk about after my reaction. So, I'm very glad that we got to have a serious episode where we really focused on Alana and Abby's, like, relationship issues and everything, and the consequences that they are facing for those. And I think going here towards our finale, it is interesting that this is going to be carrying on, like, this was a big sad episode, and I wonder if that's going to be carrying over, or if we are going to, you know, they seemed kind of happy at the end, so maybe they're over it. It's not as big of a deal for Abby as it is for, like, Alana. I think Alana's going to take a lot harder to get over. And, you know, it wasn't really brought up in the episode that much, but there's another aspect of like, Alana's feeling very vulnerable, and as she says, it's not just because Abby lied to her about Trey and everything that it is the Lincoln stuff on top of that, and honestly, on top of that, I think it's the fact that this is her parents' anniversary, and she's here for that and having to deal with that, and that is super annoying, having to see her parents be doing so well and her not at all. It's a tough one to have to get through, and as much as I feel bad for Alana, I do feel bad for Elliot also being shut down this entire episode, as just the parents do not have to care about Elliot. He is fine. He is doing a-okay for himself. Alana is the one that they need to constantly worry about and make sure isn't dead all the time. And so, you know, it's understandable why they're giving her all the attention, but, like, yeah, God, I feel bad for Elliot. Just, you know, nothing he does is they're gonna care about. But he potentially moving to London, so might not be in the show anymore or at least, like, you know, Alana might call him up and stuff, but he might not do the classic thing where he just is there. He's just wherever the scene is taking place, Elliot is somehow also there. That just happens so many times, and it seems like we're not gonna get that anymore. Abby, if Abby is not getting together with Trey, like, this is the end of it, if this is not how it went, if not Trey, who, right? Like, is there going to be anybody that Abby's going to be able to be in a consistent relationship if it was not Trey? Because Trey was the perfect person for her. Like, in terms of many, like, as you saw, he likes a lot of the things that she likes. They get along so well. He is not this, like, toxic masculinity that Abby is very, like, turned off from, and it was perfect, and she ruined it. And she seems to have already gotten over that, but you know, I hope that it does affect her a little bit more going forward and everything, because even though she talked like, oh yeah, I did like him, like, it doesn't really feel like it. Very glad we're getting more Bevers in this like, episode. I was gonna say season, but really we haven't gotten barely all of the season. This is the primary we've gotten in in the season. And yeah, like getting more and more characterization for him is strange. Like we know so much about Bevers now. Now we also know that he owned like his family owned a whole clothing factory and everything, or clothing store. And yeah, like there's so many weird intricacies about him that we like are slowly learning over the course of the series that just makes him like, how does this person exist? And I didn't even notice at all that he was eating an entire chicken on the bed, and Abby, I assume, made him put down the towel under him so he wouldn't get chicken on the bed. But he's eating a whole chicken on this tiny plate. Somehow that I don't know what's funnier, that or just the eating the shredded cheese out of the bag and then sealing it when it gets so serious. But as far as the Abby and Lincoln stuff goes, I mean, we saw this coming from a mile away. It's slowly been like I've been saying maybe they'll actually get into a poly relationship, but I highly doubt it. And like, yeah, we've been slowly getting here, slowly knowing that at some point Lincoln's gonna break it off, and here is where it happened. We should have seen the signs a lot clearer with the, when he was essentially cheating on Alana. Let's be honest, like that's kind of what was happening with Steph, like because he didn't really tell her. I mean, they weren't really in a relationship, but they weren't really not in a relationship either. It's a very weird line that they straddled, which is also like the line of like it sucks because Alana is like extremely sad that they're broken up, but it's hard to even talk about because are they broken up when they weren't really in a relationship, but they were clearly in a relationship, but they weren't in a it's complicated as hell when you get into these kind of complex dynamics. And yeah, I don't think Lincoln is really in the right here in any way, but like in terms of many things like that where he was, he started sleeping with someone before he brought it up with Alana. He has the shoe in this episode, and like if you're going to be breaking up with Alana, why do you still have that shoe purse, man? That's kind of messed up. Like Lincoln could have gone about this in a way better way. Lincoln is not confrontational, but that means that he went about this in the worst way possible because he didn't want to confront her about it. He just waited for it to get really bad. And so, yeah, it's going to be interesting where Lincoln's going to be in the show going forward, because I don't know if he's even going to be in the show at all going forward. Because what, like, as I said, they can't be friends. They've never been friends, and they can't be friends going forward. So how are they going to have Lincoln have plots in the show or be, a character? Like, I think it's just going to be either he gets maybe just stuff with Abby and that's it. Like, I don't know. He didn't have a real relationship with anybody else other than Alana. So I don't know. I can't see it happening. Anyway, I know this is very, very short, but I'm rehashing everything that I already said, so sorry, it's going to be really short. I'll see you guys for the next one. Until then, get the fuck out of here.